exploding through the earth. This weekend, 3 new vents spewing lava up to 100 feet into the air like a fountain.
This is the first time in my life. It scared me to death.
The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says an explosive eruption at the Halimo'umo'u crater is possible, one that could shoot rocks and debris the size of refrigerators into the air in any direction, with ash plumes over a 12-mile area. New evacuations ordered as an 18th fissure opened up Sunday morning with steam and lava spatter activity on the Kalapana side of Highway 132.
And the first thing that I noticed was I heard what sounded like a jet turbine.
Fissure 16.
The 16th and 17th fissures erupting Saturday, about a mile from the Puna geothermal venture.
I didn't want to be here in case 60,000 gallons of some unknown fracking type material decides to ignite and go up.
John Davidson evacuated his home on Wednesday before plant employees had finished removing the flammable chemicals. But he'd returned to check on his property when the new fissures started sizzling and spewing lava Saturday. Now, these fissures, far from the series of eruptions that, as you can see from this helicopter footage, ripped through neighborhoods earlier this week, destroying nearly 30 homes, damaging almost 40 more, clouding the air with dangerous gases and fog.
It's not like it's a hurricane where you think, okay, in 3 days it'll be here and go, or a forest fire. This is almost like a slow motion train wreck. With
more than 2,000 residents already under a mandatory evacuation order, authorities are warning others to prepare to get out now because they can't predict where, when, or how powerful Kilauea's next eruption will be.
Now, even those who don't live immediately in those areas with those fissures are dealing with air quality right now. Fog and other ash that's in the air at this point. They're trying to get masks and respirators, but Fred, authorities say that that's not necessarily going to help them. They've been running out in certain neighborhoods and communities there on the windward side of the island. Yeah. But again, authorities say that they'd much rather, if you feel like your health is in danger, just leave. The respirator's not going to protect you from sulfur dioxide.
Oh my goodness.
And so if you have health problems, please just leave.
And sometimes it's hard for people to understand the potential dangers because they do think of traditionally molten lava might move slowly. But this is something that's spewing out of the ground. The velocity, is something that nobody can really predict. And that heat is dangerous.
The heat is dangerous. And, Fred, I think that we should probably, people, if you have friends who live on the, in islands, if they're on Oahu or Kauai, they're not in danger right here. We're talking about one portion of the Big Island, which is very, very big. But the people who do live in that area have to be careful that they don't get trapped by some of these fissures that are popping up here. It's not a case of them being overtaken by lava right now. It's a case of just making sure that they can get out and they can get somebody in to rescue them if they are trapped.
All right, so could these new fissures indicate a major eruption is imminent? Meteorologist Tom Sater joining me now from the CNN Weather Center. So Tom, tell us more about really the science behind all of this. It's fascinating.
It really is, and frightening too. As he was mentioning, concerns of a massive violent eruption are there. It doesn't mean it's going to take place, but the scientists, the volcanologists that are monitoring this are telling us all the elements needed for an eruption, a massive eruption, are there. It's just how will they interact with each other to make it happen. First and foremost, as mentioned, take a look at all the dots. These are all tremors that we've had. This is around the main crater, 25 miles away on that east rift. We're still seeing a lot of activity, even in the last couple of hours. And this is where that latest fissure, and the last 3, actually 2 yesterday and 1 today, have been kind of firing up and revealing themselves. So you got the summit, and then you've got the rift, the zone here, where we're seeing the fissures release not only gas and the carbon dioxide, releasing pressure, but it's the lava. Where's the lava coming from? It's coming from the main chamber. And that's a big deal because as these fissures release that lava, the lava lake is dropping in that main chamber. These are all the fissures right now, and there's no rhyme or reason with this, Frederica. I mean, last week we had a couple down in the southwest to the northeast on the same day. But again, it tells us that it's still trying to relieve pressure. This is looking down into the chamber, the caldera, we call it. That was on April 23rd. Watch how that lava lake drops to the bottom for May 5th. It goes down. If we can continue to see if this will continue to go down. Our graphics here seem to be kind of failing here. But what's happening is the lava, as it's dropping, boulders are falling inside the chamber. It's like packing a cannon. And when this lava lake drops to the level of the water table, that is the concern. Right now, that water table, Frederica, is at 460 meters, and we have seen this drop over 350. So it could create a steam-driven explosion that'll blow out all of that debris, which in 1928, I mean, they were anywhere from 8 tons to 14 tons. I mean, that's like a semi-tractor trailer, and they're blowing a mile, mile and a half to 2 miles. So that is the concern.